Is World War III already upon us? It's a question that chills us to the bone. We cannot ignore the unsettling parallels to World War II. Back then, the world dismissed isolated conflicts. Today, we see a similar pattern. Ukraine, the Middle East, Africa, and the Asia-Pacific region are all engulfed in conflict. Could these be the early tremors of a global earthquake? The world failed to connect the dots before World War II. This lack of foresight had devastating consequences. We face a similar risk today. The web of alliances and rivalries is intricate and volatile. History offers us a sobering lesson. Recognizing the potential for escalation is not enough. We must actively address the root causes of conflict. Only through proactive measures can we avert another global catastrophe. A new axis of authoritarian states has emerged, casting a long shadow over global stability. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. These countries share a common goal: to challenge the established world order and expand their own influence. Their cooperation in the military, economic, and technological spheres raises serious concerns. Can democratic institutions and norms withstand this growing pressure? These authoritarian states are becoming increasingly assertive, leading to heightened tensions with the West. Their actions in Ukraine, the South China Sea, and the Middle East have drawn condemnation and sanctions. The risk of miscalculation and escalation is significant. As these countries test the boundaries of the international system, the world watches with bated breath. The rise of these authoritarian alliances poses a fundamental challenge to the rules-based international order established after World War II. The international community must find a delicate balance. Engaging with these countries constructively is essential, but not at the expense of democratic values. Deterrence against aggression must remain a top priority. Failure to navigate this complex landscape could have dire consequences for global peace and security. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is a stark warning. It's a potential pathway to a wider conflict, shattering the fragile peace in Europe. The invasion has sent shockwaves through the international community, raising the specter of a larger war. It serves as a grim reminder of how swiftly regional conflicts can escalate, drawing in other nations. The situation in Ukraine is particularly alarming because it involves a nuclear-armed power directly challenging the European security order. The ramifications of this conflict are already reverberating globally. Military spending is on the rise, and tensions between Russia and the West have reached fever pitch. The world holds its breath, hoping for a swift resolution. Finding a peaceful solution to the conflict in Ukraine is paramount. The international community must present a united front. Diplomacy, deterrence, and a steadfast commitment to upholding international law are essential tools. Failure to address the crisis in Ukraine could have catastrophic consequences for global security. The world cannot afford to stand idly by. Margarita Simonyan, the influential editor-in-chief of Russia's state-owned media outlet RT, has made a chilling prediction. World War III, she asserts, is definitely on the horizon and will erupt in the Middle East. Her words reflect a belief held by some in Russia that the region is a tinderbox, ready to ignite a global conflagration. Simonyan's prediction is rooted in the volatile mix of conflicts and tensions plaguing the Middle East. Syria, Yemen, and Iraq remain mired in conflict. The rivalry between Iran and Saudi Arabia simmers. Simonyan believes that the United States' actions in the region, particularly its unwavering support for Israel, are fueling these fires. While Simonyan's views may not represent the official stance of the Russian government, they offer a glimpse into the thinking of some within Russia's elite. Her prediction serves as a stark reminder of the potential for regional conflicts to spiral out of control. The pursuit of diplomatic solutions is more critical than ever. Simonyan's prediction is particularly concerning because she links the timing of World War III to US elections. This implies that political calculations in Washington could influence the likelihood of a global conflict. The United States, as a global superpower, wields immense influence. Its foreign policy decisions have far-reaching consequences. The United States' involvement in the Middle East has been a subject of intense debate for decades. Critics argue that US interventionism has often exacerbated conflicts, undermining regional stability. Proponents, however, maintain that American leadership is crucial for promoting peace and security in the region. The debate continues to rage. The potential for US elections to impact the risk of war underscores the need for responsible foreign policy decision-making. The United States must carefully consider the potential consequences of its actions in the Middle East. Prioritizing diplomatic solutions and de-escalation should be paramount. Israel's actions in Gaza, including its recent airstrikes on militant targets, have further inflamed international tensions. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains a dangerous flashpoint in the Middle East, with the potential to spark a wider conflagration. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a peaceful resolution. The recent escalation in Gaza has drawn widespread condemnation from countries and international organizations. Critics accuse Israel of using disproportionate force, resulting in civilian casualties. Israel, however, maintains that its actions are necessary to defend itself against terrorist attacks. The cycle of violence continues. The situation in Gaza underscores the urgent need for a lasting solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The international community must redouble its efforts to find a peaceful resolution. Addressing the legitimate security concerns of both sides is paramount. Creating the conditions for a just and sustainable peace is the only way forward. Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a series of ominous threats, vowing greater action against Western countries that continue to support Ukraine. His words are a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in the conflict and the potential for it to escalate beyond Ukraine's borders. The world watches with bated breath, hoping to avoid a wider war. Putin's threats are designed to deter Western countries from providing military and financial assistance to Ukraine. He aims to weaken international resolve and pressure the Ukrainian government into making concessions. The West faces a difficult choice: appease Putin or risk further escalation. The international community faces a delicate balancing act. Providing support to Ukraine is crucial for deterring further Russian aggression. However, it also carries the risk of provoking a wider conflict. Finding the right balance between support and provocation is essential to preventing a global catastrophe. The convergence of these events and predictions begs a chilling question: is a global conflict inevitable? The world is undoubtedly facing unprecedented challenges, and the risk of war cannot be ignored. However, it's crucial to remember that war is not a foregone conclusion. We have the power to choose a different path. The decisions and actions of world leaders will ultimately determine the course of history. Diplomacy, cooperation, and an unwavering commitment to peace remain our most powerful tools for preventing another global catastrophe. The stakes could not be higher. The path to peace is clear, even in these uncertain times. Diplomacy, with all its complexities and nuances, remains our most powerful weapon against the threat of global conflict. It's through dialogue, negotiation, and compromise that we can bridge divides, build trust, and find common ground. The international community must prioritize diplomacy at every turn. We need to encourage open channels of communication between adversaries, facilitate negotiations, and work tirelessly to find peaceful solutions to even the most intractable conflicts. Complacency is not an option. Diplomacy is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to our shared humanity. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to see the world through the eyes of others. By embracing diplomacy, we choose hope over fear, dialogue over violence, and a future defined by cooperation, not conflict. Preventing a global conflict is not solely the responsibility of world leaders. It's a collective responsibility that falls on each and every one of us. We must foster a global culture of peace, one built on understanding, empathy, and a shared commitment to a better future. We can start by challenging our own biases, engaging in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views, and supporting organizations working to promote peace and understanding. Every voice raised against violence, every act of kindness, every bridge built between cultures brings us one step closer to a more peaceful world. The challenges we face are daunting, but they are not insurmountable. By embracing cooperation, compassion, and a shared vision for a better future, we can create a world where war is not inevitable, but a relic of a bygone era. Let us choose peace.